If Sony a7S III and Sony a7C were to have a baby, this would be it. ये है the Sony ZV-E1, a small tiny little camera. इसको देखकर ऐसा लगता है कि यार यहाँ this is one of those beginner vlogging type of cameras, which it is. But it can do wonders. It can do and shoot things which you can never imagine from a tiny little camera like this. Because ये है एक tiny little full frame camera. Not crop censored. This opens up a whole new adventure for all us filmmakers, vloggers, YouTubers, content creators, etc. etc. Let me show you some footage that I shot with this camera ताकि थोड़ा सा warm up हो जाओ आप. Here, have a look. I am not kidding. That footage was shot with this camera, the Sony ZV-E1. See the colors, see the detailing, see the color science, everything is so amazing. This is as good as my Sony a7S III which I'm shooting this vlog on right now. तो सेंसर वही है, बस बॉडी छोटी है, थोड़े बटन्स कम हैं, थोड़े से फीचर्स अलग हैं और कुछ ऐसी चीजें हैं which will blow your mind. So stay tuned to this video. I am Mariz, a reason to subscribe. So this camera ideally comes with this kit lens, which is a 28 to 60 mm f4 to 5.6 lens, a tiny compact little lens, but of course giving that Sony quality. In this camera you can shoot video up to 4K, 120 fps or 100 if in the PAL mode, and in 10-bit 422 color. That is why color grading is I can't stop doing this. Also it has a dual native ISO of 640 and 12800. Now what does that mean? यानी कि नॉर्मल तो आप शूट कर ही लोगे, लेकिन if you have no lights and you have to shoot outdoor at night, you just move your ISO to 12,800 and your image will be crystal clear. So many of these images of this fashion film that you can see is shot on 12,800 ISO. That is the amazing part of having dual ISO. Now let's go to some fun features, the features that this camera is known for and a lot of people are talking about. Firstly, there is a feature called auto framing. Now for this auto reframing feature, go to the auto reframing option over here and say on. Now when I start recording, see this. ये एक छोटा सा frame आएगा and मुझे shoot करेगा जहां जहां मैं जाऊंगा. It will just simply follow me. So now if I go left, if I go right, if I go low, if I go up, it's basically cropping in the 4K image and just reframing the whole video wherever the person or the subject goes. इतना helpful tool है for those who shoot independently खुद से. You just put your camera on your tripod and you can walk and talk and it'll auto reframe you wherever you go. ऐसा लगता है कोई कैमरा लेकर आपके पीछे पीछे आ रहा है. Now this camera has a very intuitive and a very cool touch screen. Just look at this. You can swipe up, down, left, right, and then you'll have this shortcut menu over here, and you can easily access it. Now this camera has a very nice and convenient mic. This is a multifunctional, multi-purpose mic. इसके अंदर you can set your direction of the mic, as in if you're talking from the front, you can change the direction of the mic to front. If you're talking from behind the camera, you can put it behind the camera. And if you want to capture sound from all around, you can do that too. Here are some examples.
इसके अंदर the mic is facing towards me in the front side of the camera, so it's catching my voice clearly directly into the camera. Now I will switch to the rear mic. Now you see, you can't hear me really, but now I'll switch to the back mic. Now you can hear the mic from behind the camera as the rear mic is on. Now I'll switch to all directions mic. Now the all direction mic is on. You can hear the sounds around me, around the camera. There's some music going on over there. आस-पास कुछ crickets बोल रहे हैं. No other mic required. Just the on camera mic. है कि नहीं?
अब बात करते हैं इस कैमरा के स्टेबलाइजेशन की. This camera has the brand new dynamic active stabilization mode. Usually all the Sony cameras have the standard stabilization, the active stabilization, and then now in this there is the dynamic active stabilization. Of course इसमें the image is cropped a little, but the stability you get with this camera while walking and talking or running and shooting, it is as though you're shooting on a gimbal. You don't need a gimbal, especially if you're shooting on 25 FPS or 50 FPS, because the dynamic active settings does not work on 100 FPS. लेकिन 50 और 25 FPS पे कुछ भी शूट करो तो dynamic active लगाओ और gimbal को भूल जाओ. Here is an example.
So right now I'm talking with the ZV-E1, walking and talking, and the stabilization is on standard mode. So now it's the active stabilization mode. It's cropped in a little. The sun has gone down a little, इसलिए image थोड़ी dark हो गई है. So this is the dynamic active stabilization. I'm guessing the footage is a little more smoother. Of course थोड़ा और close हो गया the magnification. लेकिन कितना smooth? I can just walk, talk, and it gives a very cinematic effect, as though on a gimbal. है कि नहीं?
एक और amazing feature for all the influencers and content creators is the product showcase feature. And then when you switch it on and if you're talking and showing something, if you just get the product in front of the camera, the focus goes on the product and then back to your face. And if you put it in front, again on the product and then again back to your face, which is quite a cool feature to have. Now, of course, for people who shoot in log and use the S-Log3 in Sony cameras, you can use the Gamma Assist feature and you can see colors जैसे दिखेंगे and later you can color grade it. But for people who want to actually see how their LUTs will look, there are inbuilt LUTs or you can also put user LUTs in the camera and see how the final image is going to look. I mean, such features are available in those external monitors, but not usually in cameras. And now for those who don't like to color grade, don't like to do all this fancy stuff in post, or don't maybe know about it, they want to just shoot. उसके लिए एक बहुत अमेजिंग फीचर है द सिने व्लॉग मोड।
तो अभी ये सिने व्लॉग मोड ऑन है जहां ऊपर और नीचे ब्लैक बार्स लग जाते हैं एंड इट लुक्स लाइक अ फिल्म, लाइक अ म्यूजिक वीडियो काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग, है कि नहीं? विदाउट डूइंग मच, यूजुअली लोग ये सब इन पोस्ट इन एडिट करते हैं, बट हियर यू कैन डू इट जस्ट बाय प्रेसिंग अ बटन। नाउ इसके अंदर भी ये इंटरेस्टिंग सा टोन दिया गया है, द एस सिने टोन, जो कि डिफॉल्ट टोन आता है। ऑफ कोर्स देयर आर मोर टोन्स ओवर हियर, लाइक इफ वी ब्राउज थ्रू इट, इफ वी टैप ऑन इट, यू कैन सी दिस क्लीन लुक, दिस शीक लुक, दिस फ्रेश लुक, this mono look यानी कि black and white, of course. Color grading, of course, ये already inbuilt होती है, so you can't edit this later and make it color. No, it's already black and white when you are shooting it, so be careful about that. लेकिन wow, out of the box, just by pressing a button to get this cinematic kind of a vlog look, cinematic film look, it's superb.
Now this camera is only 12 megapixel. Yes, that's right, only 12 megapixel. But for social media, that only is not only. वो काफी है. Unless you want to take out a big printout या hoarding जैसा करना है, of course not for that. लेकिन for social media, for your phone watching, tablet watching, it's perfect. I mean, a lot of pictures on my Instagram are shot on the Sony A7S III, which is also the same 12 megapixel, and the ZV-E1. Here are some sample pictures which I shot from this very camera. Just look at the colors. Just look at this whole vibe of the pictures. So megapixel doesn't really matter always. Now for those who don't understand aperture, shutter speed, all this, उनके लिए अगर उनको background defocus करना है, तो they may not know that you have to decrease the aperture. So for that, there is one button which is assigned to background defocus.
तो इसका amazing background defocus फीचर तो है यहां पर। अभी आप पीछे जो देख रहे हैं काफी ब्लर्ड आउट है कि नहीं? नाउ जस्ट प्रेसिंग अ बटन एंड थिंग्स विल बिकम क्लियर। वो देख, लैम्प देखिए, पीछे ट्रीज देखिए। अगेन आई विल मेक इट आउट ऑफ फोकस बाय प्रेसिंग जस्ट अ बटन। ये डीफोकस बटन दबाते ही फोकस मेरे पे पीछे डीफोकस्ड। इजी टू यूज फॉर बिगनर्स।
And similarly, another cool feature in this camera is that if you're shooting a vlog or basically talking to your camera, and if another person comes in the frame, it'll automatically detect the face of that person and it'll also bring that person in focus. And as soon as that person moves away, the background will be blurred again. So all in all, the Sony ZV-E1 has so many features. इतने सारे features के एक वीडियो तो काफी है ही नहीं. So anyways, I have made many more reels on my Instagram channel too about the various features and done some showcasing of various examples using this camera. So go check that out. And if you're looking for a camera to make those cinematic videos, amazing colors in your pictures, and just making fashion films or shooting weddings, music videos, ad films, short films, whatever you want to, that can be done with this camera. ये छोटा पैकेट बड़ा धमाका है. Actually, I'm Ariz, a reason to subscribe. Until next time, see you.